Every week, a garbage truck rolls into your neighborhood, lifts your bin, makes a loud mechanical groan, and somehow keeps swallowing more and more trash without ever seeming to fill up. Most people assume it's just a giant storage box on wheels, but that's not what's happening at all. Hidden inside is a powerful machine that's constantly crushing, compressing, and reorganizing your trash. And without it, modern waste collection simply wouldn't work. Think about the last time you watched a garbage truck collect your trash. The bin was lifted into the air. The contents disappeared into the back of the truck. There was a loud hydraulic noise, and within seconds the truck moved on to the next house. It's such a familiar sight that most of us never stop to question what's actually happening. The common assumption is simple. The truck is just a giant container. Trash goes in, stays there, and eventually gets dumped at a landfill or recycling center. That sounds logical, but it's completely wrong. A modern garbage truck isn't designed to store waste. It's designed to process it from the very moment it enters the vehicle. The instant your trash falls into the back of the truck, it lands inside an area called the hopper. From the outside, it looks like an empty compartment waiting for more rubbish, but it's actually the starting point of a carefully engineered system. Hidden behind the hopper is one of the most important parts of the entire truck, a massive steel packer blade powered by hydraulic cylinders. Its job sounds simple: push the trash forward. But that simple movement changes everything. Imagine trying to pack clothes into a suitcase before going on vacation. If you simply throw everything inside, you'll quickly run out of space. But if you press the clothes down, squeeze out the air, and keep packing carefully, suddenly the same suitcase can hold much more than you expected. That's exactly what the packer blade does. Every time another load of rubbish enters the hopper, the hydraulic system comes to life. The blade slowly pushes forward, forcing the new trash against everything already inside the truck. Cardboard boxes collapse, plastic containers flatten, bin bags lose the pockets of air trapped inside them. Instead of allowing waste to pile up loosely, the truck continuously removes the empty space between objects. And that's the secret. Garbage trucks aren't really crushing garbage. They're crushing air. Most household waste contains enormous amounts of empty space. A cardboard box is mostly air. A plastic bottle is mostly air. Even a full garbage bag contains countless gaps between everything inside it. By squeezing those gaps closed, the truck dramatically increases how much waste it can carry without becoming any larger. That process happens again, and again, and again. Every single time the truck stops. Most people imagine the compactor works once at the end of the route. In reality, it operates after nearly every collection. Your trash goes in, the blade moves, the waste is compressed, the truck creates room for the next house. Then the entire cycle repeats. Hour after hour, street after street. Without that constant compaction, a garbage truck would fill up surprisingly quickly. Entire neighborhoods would require far more collection vehicles, more drivers, more fuel, and many more trips to disposal facilities. Instead, one truck can continue collecting for hours because it's constantly creating new space inside itself. But that raises another fascinating question. If the truck is generating enough force to flatten furniture, crush thick cardboard, and compress hundreds of kilograms of waste every few minutes, just how powerful is the machine hidden inside? The sound you hear every time the truck stops isn't just a noisy hydraulic pump. It's the sound of one of the hardest working machines on your street. At the heart of every garbage truck is a hydraulic system. Instead of relying on electric motors or gears, the truck uses pressurized hydraulic fluid to move enormous steel cylinders. Those cylinders drive the packer blade forward with tremendous force, allowing it to compress materials that would be impossible to flatten by hand. But here's something surprising. The truck isn't trying to destroy the trash. It's trying to remove the air trapped inside it. Think about an empty cardboard box. It looks large, but most of its volume is nothing more than air. The same is true for plastic bottles, food packaging, paper bags, and many other everyday household items. When those objects are squeezed together, the air disappears, but the material itself remains. That's why the truck can fit so much waste inside without actually becoming any larger. And it doesn't happen in one giant push. Each stop adds another layer, another compression cycle, another pocket of air removed. By the end of the route, hundreds of individual compaction cycles have transformed a loose pile of rubbish into one dense load that's ready for transport. Without this system, waste collection would look completely different. Trucks would reach capacity after only a handful of streets. Drivers would spend far more time traveling back and forth to disposal facilities than collecting bins. Fuel costs would rise, collection routes would become shorter, and cities would need significantly more trucks just to keep up with the same amount of household waste. That single hydraulic system quietly saves enormous amounts of time, fuel, and operating costs every single day. But not every garbage truck performs this job in exactly the same way. If you've traveled to different cities, you've probably noticed that garbage trucks don't all look alike. Some lift bins from the back, others use large forks at the front, and some have a long mechanical arm that reaches out from the side without the driver ever leaving the cab. Although they look completely different, they're all solving the same engineering problem. Rear loaders are the trucks most people recognize. Workers place bags or wheelie bins into the rear hopper, where the packer blade begins the compaction cycle. This design is flexible because it can handle many different types of household waste. Front loaders are built for much heavier commercial dumpsters. Instead of loading waste from the rear, hydraulic forks lift entire containers above the cab before emptying them into the truck. These vehicles are commonly used behind supermarkets, shopping centers, schools, and office buildings, where waste is collected in large metal dumpsters. Side loaders take automation even further. Using cameras and hydraulic arms, the driver can stop beside a residential bin, grab it, empty it, and place it back on the curb, all without leaving the seat. This makes collection faster, more consistent, and reduces the amount of manual lifting required throughout the day. Different loading methods, same destination. Every truck collects. Every truck compacts. Every truck keeps making room for the next stop. When you step back and look at the bigger picture, a garbage truck isn't really a truck at all. It's a mobile waste processing machine. Everything about its design is focused on one goal: collecting the maximum amount of waste before making a trip to the disposal facility. The hopper receives the rubbish. The hydraulic cylinders power the packer blade. The blade removes empty space. The truck creates more capacity. Then the entire process begins, again only a few seconds later. It's a continuous cycle that's repeated hundreds of times during a single shift. Most people never notice it because the entire process happens in less than a minute. That's the beauty of good engineering. When it works perfectly, it almost disappears. The next time you hear a garbage truck outside your house, listen carefully. That loud mechanical groan isn't simply the sound of trash being moved around inside a metal box. It's the sound of hydraulic cylinders driving a massive steel blade that continuously removes empty space, allowing one truck to collect an entire neighborhood's worth of waste before heading to a disposal facility. Without that hidden system, cities would need far more trucks, consume more fuel, create more traffic, and spend far more money simply collecting everyday rubbish. What looks like one of the simplest jobs on the street is actually powered by an incredibly clever piece of engineering that most people never think about. And that's often the sign of great engineering. When it's doing its job perfectly, you hardly notice it at all. If this changed the way you look at garbage trucks, let us know in the comments. And if you enjoy discovering the hidden engineering behind everyday machines, don't forget to subscribe. There are countless ordinary things hiding extraordinary stories, and we'll uncover more of them in the next video.